recording. There we go. All right, yeah. So I just want to tell y'all, that I appreciate you being here every night, and I'm glad you're getting something out of it. And I know it's not easy, but we're almost done. We are this close to the finish line. And I'm sure Montrese will be here soon, right, Karen?
Yeah. I don't know how to work this tab. I see myself, but I don't see y'all no more. So there we go.
Oh, good. Well, I see. Okay. Well, I am going to start sharing, so we can go ahead and get started tonight. Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to get done at 9 o'clock instead of, wait a minute. Yeah, 9 o'clock.
What happened? Something just happened on my screen.
Well, no, the only thing that happened is I started sharing my screen so that y'all could see.
Okay.
Program.
Yeah.
I tried to warn y'all because I didn't do a very good job of it. All right, from the beginning, coaching, developing your team. Gosh, y'all have went through the conversational selling to goal setting to planning, and now it's time for coaching. And I just missed one of those segments, and I forgot what one it was. But now it's time to move on to coaching. Coaching is about building your team. This is the S in BOSS, the support. So instead of getting the support, which you always have, you're giving the support now. Let's see. And we need to know, who we're going to coach. We'll talk about the coach approach, what you do before you start coaching someone, how the coaching interaction should take place, and how coaching is like selling, and then the coaching plan. So we got lots of good stuff to go over tonight. I gotta move this. Okay. So the S and BOSS for support. So this is how you support your team and helping them. I say this all the time. Duplicate your efforts. Make another you. Show them how to use the skills that they need to grow their Avon business. So think back. Who would you identify as the greatest coach you've ever met or known?
You want us to answer that?
Yeah.
Kim, Rudy has been best coach or mentor for me.
Awesome. Okay. So what made her so great?
Well, when I first met her, I met her over the phone, and the vibe that I got from her was sincere and legit. And she asked me, was there anything, meaning besides when I had got my kit, was there anything else that she could do for me? And if I ever need anything, I can call her at any time. And it was just something that I just needed to hear.
I love that. All right. Sincere.
Yes.
And legit.
Yes.
Very good. So what about someone else? And this can be an Avon mentor of yours. It can be a literal coach in school. It can be someone who's taught you a lot, maybe a teacher. So who else would like to share? At least one or two more.
Well, I guess for me, it would be, you talk about teachers from school. That's something that sticks with me the most, because we used to have a literacy teacher named Parthy Gossett, and she was always one of these that she stood by her students whatsoever. Granted, if you didn't do your work, she would give you incomplete, because she would make you do the work before you would actually get a grade to be able to graduate. But she always, just if you try, she's always there to help you out, no matter what. And it's hard to find, in this day and age, with my children being seniors, it's hard to find teachers that want to morally coach your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you as a mom, to find a teacher that wants to morally coach your kids, help your kids be all they could be, because that was the only thing that Gossett, that was why she really was a teacher, is to make sure all her students were all that they can be. And there was her 30-year class reunion when we went to Tulsa, but she was there. I mean, she was there to see all the old students that she had taught.
Good.
You just can't beat that anymore.
No. So what I've heard is sincere, legit, stands by you and is
Yes.
helping.
Yes.
You know? What wasn't said was caring and involved.
Well, Kim was involved with the things that I have done
Oh, yeah.
because she even asked me, did I never been to a vendor before,
Uh-huh.
and she invited me to a vendor to go with her, and she told me if I had anything to bring it with me. So she was caring. She was
Yeah.
sharing with me, and then she
Yes.
also gave me she told me where to look for vendors and how to go about getting
Yeah.
them, and told me to make my calls and do like basically she directed me where I needed to go, because like she said, everything you're not going to be able to get for your family to place orders and stuff to get to where you need to be.
Fine. Not you. I'm
So-
sorry. I'm trying to get my son out of here. I apologize.
We know kids come in there, they
I
be
was telling
wanting.
him, I was like, that's fine, not you. And that's kind of what I meant when I said I didn't hear it. But it was implied,
Yeah.
that these people were involved.
Yes.
They cared about you.
Right.
That is the things that made them great.
Right.
So,
And I don't know if you noticed it, but I'm wearing a cast.
I didn't notice.
Yes, I was in a car. I got hit by a car last Thursday coming home from work.
Okay.
And one thing, when Kim found out that was what happened, she called me and she asked me, was there anything that she could do for me to help me?
Yeah.
And I told her right now, I was fine because I had someone to help me, here at home. So I was good.
Yeah.
And she did follow up, and she kept calling and seeing if I was okay, if I needed anything and stuff like that. So she's been doing that. And then she asked me if I was, am I doing anything, and I was telling her I was doing my online sales, trying to get people to go to my online store to place orders because I wouldn't be able to deliver them.
Isn't it great, the friends we make and the people that will
Yeah.
do almost anything for us doing this? So, as leaders yourself, now don't y'all want to be that kind of coach to someone else, that kind of mentor?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I try to encourage. I have 2 people and they have not placed an order yet, but I was telling them to, even if they didn't get any sales from anyone else, purchase some stuff and maybe we can go to some vendors together, and you can sell your products that way, because they was like, well, I'm not getting any as at work or anything like that. Okay, it don't have to be just at work with the people that you're working with. It could be somewhere else. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Let's find somewhere where we can actually sell our products.
And to your point, you may have already done this before, but find out what their why is. Because when they get a hold of their why and they're like, I want to do this because it's going to pay for this, that's going to make them hungrier. And they're going to want to go outside their work or the 2 or 3 people they ask. Because if you're like me, you've noticed that when someone says, well, I can't get any sales, and I'll say, well, who did you ask? Oh, I ask everybody. Well, who's everybody? And they're like, well, I asked my cousin and my sister, every time.
Right.
You can't.
And a lot of time that they have a budget, so they can't help you. So you gotta think outside of that and say, well, then if they can't help me, but I'm not gonna give up on asking people because I come across people every day.
Yeah. And with my mama, she'd always say things like, well, everybody's broke. And I'm like, no, Mama, ain't everybody broke, just us. Go find the people who aren't broke. And, you were right about the budget. Some people have a very limited budget, and those people.
Look, I might be agreeing with.
Yeah, get those people on your team, because maybe their budget doesn't even allow Avon. They need some money.
Right. And you know what? I have said that too. I said, well, maybe you want to join my team and make some money.
Yeah.
And they always give that like, I think about it. I don't have the money for it. Well, I give you the money. If that's going to be your little glitch, that's all you got that's holding you back. you know. But it's just like, and then you, if you still have an excuse for it, that's not really what you want to do.
That's
Because if a person go that far to even have that faith in you, and you still declining, there's more to it than just what you see.
Yeah, just find out what they want and if it's worth it to them.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So let's focus on who to coach.
Okay.
Let's focus on getting the return on your investment. You have invested time in this person, getting them signed up, talking to them, and your time is valuable. So a lot of time, coaches will spend their time talking to the poor performers or just the high performers. So how many times have we coached to high performers and we're really excited about everything that they're doing? But guess what? So are they. And they're going to keep doing what they're doing because they're happy and excited, and you want to stay in touch with them. But maybe they don't have to be your focus because you've already taught them and they are doing what they do and doing great. So then sometimes we'll go and we'll focus on those poor performers. How many of us, and I will raise my hand, have tried to drag people to success and they just won't even meet you halfway? Okay.
Well, I got someone like that.
Yeah, I think we've all had 1 or 2 or 10 like that. So, we want to be there for them when they have questions. We always want to support someone, but maybe that's not where our focus should be. So when you're looking at your team and you have your core performers, maybe they don't sell a lot, but they sell maybe $200. Maybe they've signed up one person, maybe they haven't, but they are consistent. They are there every campaign with an order. These are what we call your core performers. These are the people with a little bit of more time spent could turn into your high performers. If you focus on your core, you can improve the overall performance of your team sales by 19%. What do y'all think about what I just said?
You're correct. I mean, you really are. But
yeah, that can be. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the slides don't lie.
Well, for me, I with my team that I have, of course, I've tried. The few that I've talked to you about that I can't get a hold of, all that. But my ones that, like you say, are consistent, and even some of my ones that aren't, but will still stay in touch with me. We go over Kickstart numbers, each week. I tell them, like you say, the little package that you give us that we can buy for 30 or you can sell for 45, but we get 118 in sales. I said, this is a prime thing. This is an easy thing that you can take and use that will help you gain your sales. I go over everything, how this could meet their goals, how they could take and, like you say, give them the examples of the difference in the money they could make. That's something that I do with everyone that I coach every campaign, every week. I usually call them in the beginning of the week and at the end of the week, just to make sure everything to follow up to see if they need anything.
Mm-hmm.
You take them samples, if they need samples, bags, whatever you got.
Yeah.
I'm here to help them out.
Yeah. So all of those core performers are not going to hop on the bandwagon all of a sudden become high performers.
Right.
It's like that old adage we've talked about. You're shucking oysters to find the pearls. Y'all have heard that saying, right? You got to shuck a lot of oysters to find a pearl.
Yep.
It's like this with your core performers. Some of them are going to be happy doing what they do.
I never heard of it.
Are going to have some life circumstance change. Maybe they've left their job because they wanted to, or it just happened. Maybe some people have found themselves in a situation where they need more money than they had before. And by you keeping that relationship going and always being there for them and noticing that they are the ones that need the recognition and need the encouragement, they might just say, you know what? They do need to make some more money. How do we do this? So, all right. Well, very good. And I'm sorry I got up because I had to let that dog in the house. I couldn't stand that barking, and I didn't know if you heard it either. But it is better than earlier today when my son was
I kept on hearing it, and I kept on trying to figure out.
Whew, that dog was driving me crazy. But like I said earlier on one of my calls, my son was practicing his tuba in the garage. That was not good either. All right.
Oh, that would have been fun.
It was, yeah. He can play Jingle Bells on a tuba.
Well, it's pretty good.
I knew it was Jingle Bells. All right, so let's talk about coaching at Avon. Coaching is about empowerment. You know, this whole leadership development program is not about us telling you what to do. It's about finding out what you want to do. What do you know how to do? And what can we help you get better at? So, you know, instead of doing it for them or directing them, we're building them up. We're supporting what they want to do and teaching them how to lead, or coaching them, I should say, to lead their own team and to increase their own sales. Because when you empower your team, they become entrepreneurs and they're able to bring the opportunity to others. So when you coach someone and they're worked their way to President's Club, they've worked themselves up to Bronze Ambassador. What does that do for them and for you?
It's going to build you up and make you higher as far as making you, silver ambassador, gold leader, however, with whatever they build under you, it's going to beat you up. But it's also going to want to give them a drive to want to do better as well, even go higher, I guess, farther up.
Yes.
If they've got the drive to make it that far, then they're going to want the drive to go a little farther.
Exactly. That's the one thing I have always loved about Avon from day one.
What he did for me.
I get to go higher as I bring someone up with me.
Okay.
And I really like the way that's done. I like it where we grow together and that everybody finds success.
Oh.
It's like one big family.
Yeah. I'm not the kind of person that if I have to step on someone else to get ahead, I don't want to go.
Right.
And I feel like I'm in the wrong place if that's the attitude.
Right.
But I feel like if I can take your hand and we can go together, that is the ideal situation. So, and that's the thing I like about Avon. I always have. Oh, the weenie dog is back in the office. Okay.
He loves
I'd pick her up and show her.
his mama.
She's too fat. Okay, so let's talk about how to enrich our lives. I'm going to talk about the rich model. I got to shut this door. I'm sorry. But this is a good model, and I don't want to be interrupted. All right, we're going to start by, developing our relationships. As you can see, this circle, this outer circle is about trusted relationships. You have to be real, you have to be reliable, and relatable. Can anybody just give me one example on how to be any of those things?
Well, when you say you're going to be somewhere, you want to be there, so that makes you reliable. To be confident in what you're going to do or say to someone about the Avon business, that's giving you the confidence.
Yeah.
And to identify a person needs. So when you talking one-on-one with a person, you kind of see some things that they may need that they don't even know that they need.
Yeah. So just like, you said earlier, the person, when she called you, she was real.
Yeah.
And you knew she was going to be reliable, and you knew she was going to be relatable. Because those three things come out when you said she was sincere and she was legit.
Right.
So that was how she developed her trusted relationship with you. So when we do these things through our interactions, so see the little purple, pink, whatever color you want to call that? Through intentional interactions, we can inspire them to action. We can identify their needs, just like you said, investigate their why, it's very important that we know their why and we know their needs so that we can help them get it and instill confidence in them. You know, does it instill confidence in you when if I was to say, okay, I need you to go out and speak to 3 people today, and I need you to sign up at least 2. You come back at the end of the day. Did I instill confidence in you?
Not really.
No.
No, you just gave me an order.
Yeah, there you go. But what if I said, okay, how do you feel like's the best way to build your team? And then you gave me some ideas and some feedback, and I gave you some feedback in return. Maybe that would start instilling some confidence in you to be able to go out and do these things that you want done.
Yeah.
So it's about asking and giving those open-ended questions instead of demanding and telling.
Exactly.
Right.
And then through inspiring the person's heart right here, you've accessed their designing to build their confidence. Find out, remember when we did our very first homework assignment where we talked about the areas you were challenged and you were consistent or maybe not so consistent? Y'all remember doing that worksheet? So we identified some areas that we needed to work on.
Mm-hmm.
So you always want to find out what are their strengths and what could we improve on, and then start building from there. This is how you get to know their heart.
Okay.
And this is the first step in being able to coach to someone. All right, so before you begin coaching, we're gonna get more into detail of this. I'm sorry, this screen's a little repetitive, so I'm gonna move on. One of the first things you do is ask for permission. You want to show respect for her and start coaching and get your coaching relationship off to the right start. So many times, and it's happened to me, I'll see someone, they'll pop up and I'll be like, oh my gosh, look at those sales. She's already signed a person up. She just started last week. Let me call her because I need to start being her coach. Well, yeah, you can say that in here. But on the outside, we want to talk to her. We want to share, why we want to coach her. So by giving her recognition, asking how she feels about what she's accomplished and what we can do together in a partnership, and then ask her if that's something she would like to do. So as she says yes, you can start building that relationship. If she says no, it's not about you. You just want to acknowledge that response. Let her know that's okay, but you are always going to be there when she needs your help and that you'll stay in touch. And then find someone else to invest your time in. As we talked about a couple of slides back, your time is valuable, right?
Right.
Alrighty. So this should look a little familiar to you also, because this was also in the first part of your homework. As Christy and I were getting to know you, we needed to know your heart and your belief and where you stood. So, what do you want in life? What do you not want? Why do you have a business? How does it make you feel? And has it changed your life in a positive way? And if so, how? We just really want to get to know people so that we can help them get what they want. And then, of course, plan to build that trusted relationship by the 3 R's: real, relatable, and reliable. And we talked about these things. So I'm going to kind of just move on to this the question I want to pose to you. What could a coach do that could either build or erode your trust?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
I can hear you. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We can't see anybody or anything.
You should be able to see my screen. Can everybody see the screen?
Well, we see
I
the
can.
screen with the think back. We see that.
Think back. Okay. I'm not sure
But
what's
I
going
don't-
on. I'm
I don't
on the.
see you.
Okay. Me, you won't be able to see. You should be able to see just the screen. It has a clock on it. Raise your
No,
hand.
No, we're not on that one.
Okay, raise your hand. Can you see this? Can you see the purple words on the screen? Purple block.
No.
Cheryl,
Got like a
No.
and what about this
the clock.
LG style Stylo 3. Can you see it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, who cannot see? Is that Montrese and Karen?
Yes.
Do you think? I don't know what's happened. Christy, are you on?
We can't see anybody but us. That's it. And then this think back thing.
Okay. Let me just unshare from. Let me stop sharing. Okay, can you see it? See us, Montrese and Karen? Wave if you can see me. I'm waving at you.
Oh.
No, we don't
No,
see it.
everybody is blacked out.
Okay. Any ideas, Christy? What about?
The only thing I can think of is, did you guys maybe accidentally hit the video where you could where you have, if you move around on your screen, you'll see where you can either mute or unmute yourself or stop video or play video.
No, the video
Maybe you
is
accidentally one of those.
It's not crossed out on the video.
Because we can I can see you. I can
Yeah.
see you guys.
Do y'all want to just hop
can
off and
see
hop
us.
back on? That might be the
They
quickest.
can see us, but we are the only, that's the only thing we see is us.
Y'all must have the camera turned around somehow, and I don't even know how that would happen.
That's weird.
So
Yeah, because we
why
can
don't y'all log off and log back in real quick, and we'll just take a couple minutes of break, okay? Y'all want to try
Okay.
that?
Yeah,
Sure.
we can.
Okay, do that,
Okay.
and then let's see if that works. All right, so we'll take a couple of minutes break. And hopefully they'll get on and
Okay.
it'll work for them in a second.
Bless you.
No, thanks.
Cough ain't went
Huh?
away yet. Huh?
Yeah.
The cough hasn't went away yet.
No, it hasn't. And the lady on the with the broken arm, would you remind me of your name? I have just totally slipped my mind.
Tammy Thurston.
Tammy Thurston.
Yes.
All right. And where do you live, Tammy?
St. Louis, Missouri. Normandy.
Ah, you know, it's funny when you said you were hit by a car last week. I got hit by a car in St. Louis. But, I mean, I literally got hit by a car. I was
That's when
Oh
I
wow.
was walking. I was walking when I got hit.
me too.
I was walking. I was walking off of Clayton Road. Well, I was crossing the street at a intersection at Clayton Road, and I think there's Latrin Forum is Tree
Yeah.
Forum, some subdivision that way.
Now, I was downtown, you know, during the tourist thing down by the Cardinal Stadium and all that, you know, nice downtown area. And I was at a women's convention. I had, matter of fact, who was that lady? Joyce Meyer, my cousin my cousin and her mother-in-law wanted me to go. I've never been anything like that in my life. And we took the metro and went back and forth to
Right.
the hotel every day. And I had a good time, except that Jeep hit me. I don't know why.
Mine was a Jeep too. Mine was a Jeep SUV, and I was just glad that she knocked me backwards.
Well, this a young.
I'm just glad.
That hit me. All right, so Montrese and Karen, can y'all see us now?
Uh-oh. I think we lost them, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, they're back. I just don't know if they can see us. They can't hear me.
Kind of looks like they're frozen.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Christy, how'd the game go?
You can't have any more. You gonna
I'm
mess
sorry.
How did your game go?
Oh, it was actually an awards night. My daughter did cross country this year in high school, and they had their award. It's over with now, but they had their awards night. So it was
Right.
fine. It was forever long.
I did not realize your daughter was in high school.
Do what?
You not notice. I didn't realize your daughter was in high school.
Yeah, freshman this year.
Oh, okay, freshman. Well, I took a picture. I took my son out driving, and now everybody thinks he's 16 and he's 11. Would you get away
Oh,
from my
God.
phone?
I say
You're abusing someone. Get out.
mine is fixing to start up because mine is archery. So she's fixing to start into her biggest part of it. So
Is Montrese and Karen, what's going on there?
Now? Karen,
It's got to
What
be our
happened?
internet connection, I would think. No? I don't know. Shut the door, please. If she keeps barking, come get her. I don't know.
it looks like they're still froze.
Yeah, they're frozen. I mean, we're going to finish by 9 anyway, but we need to. We can just go.
well,
What do you
just
think?
go ahead and move on. It's recording, so I can just send them the replay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's recording at least. All right. So let's get back to the three R's of building a relationship: being real, relatable, and reliable. So my question was, what might a coach do that could either build or erode trust? Give me an example of one or the other.
The right way to put this, not following
Yeah.
up with your team, making sure that you're there for them, if they call, not calling back, you always want to be there to answer any questions they may have.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So not being there, not doing what you said, not following it. So who can give me
Not being reliable, basically.
Yeah. So who can give me an example of how to build trust?
Of course, building the trust would go in the same way, being there for your team no matter what.
Yeah. I
You
was
know,
going to go somebody to say just the opposite.
It could go both ways, yes.
All right, let's see. Oh, now I can't get it to move forward. Here we go. All right, so we talked about also identifying their competencies, finding out what our coaching priorities are. We want to find out, what are they good at? What could they need a little more work on? So if you have someone who's great at setting goals, but not how to get to a goal, we know that we need to work on creating strategies with her, right?
Correct.
If they're really great at recognizing their team, but they're always late and never remember a meeting that they've scheduled, what do we need to work on then?
Your time and making sure you're always on time.
Time management. And how we just did a planning one, so I'm going to ask y'all, how do we maintain our appointments?
Keep a calendar.
Get a calendar. Yes, manage your time management skills. Yeah, using a calendar, something like that. Trying to get out. All right.
Karen's good at that.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So once you've done these steps, you've got her permission, you know her heart and belief, you've developed a relationship, you've identified the priorities. Now it's time you start having those coaching interactions with her. And I think it's pretty safe to say we all have some really good, we built some good relationships over this time we spent together. Wouldn't y'all agree?
Yes, yes.
All right, so coaching interaction, 4 easy steps. What needs to be addressed, why there's a need, what might be the cost for that need, so digging a little deeper. How will you share things and recommend ideas that's going to motivate her to move forward? And start with inspiring action by the specific next steps. So now we're going to talk about the GROW model, and it's the G in GROW stands for identifying the needs and investigating the why. This is what we talked about a couple of times, asking those open-ended questions and follow-up questions so we can dig deeper so that we can understand more of our conversations and get to know them better. So identify and investigate. The R and the O is all about instilling confidence, recommending solutions, and offering stories and best practices to motivate her to try the solution. So, and I imagine the three of you have some really good stories. Sometimes that maybe you were able to overcome something in your business, and then maybe those stories would help her. And then, of course, the W is inspiring action, which is work together. Identify the next step and have a call to action. And then gain commitment. So once you went through all these steps and you've got some ideas and you've inspired her to go out and do a few things, it's really important you get that commitment, right? So if you
Yes.
establish the plan with
Yes.
her, not tell her the plan, she was a part of helping you establish the plan, and then you gain that commitment from her. So when you gain that commitment from her, and you call her back next week or in a couple of days to see, how it went, she's perfectly accepting you. She's ready for you to ask that question because you've gained a commitment from her. So it's an expectation now. It's not just an idea you're floating around.
After the meeting.
And then, of course, listening with questions.
I don't know.
The key to good coaching and selling is listening. You cannot sell to your customers if you do not listen and find out what their needs are, whether it be skincare, the right mascara, or showing them how to earn the money that they're looking for every campaign. Let's see. Lead her to self-discovery. Have you ever had a conversation with someone, and probably me, that we were talking, and then you said, "Oh, yeah, okay, I see that now."
Yes, ma'am.
I knew you did. So as we're going through these open-ended questions, and I'm digging, sometimes I know the answer, sometimes I don't. But what I want is for you to be thinking about it.
Right.
Because if you're thinking about it, you're learning it, you're getting it, you're understanding it, and you're going to move forward. I've got to shut this door again. I apologize. There must be.
Kind of like having them aha moments.
Yeah, we love aha moments, don't we? Because every
Yep.
time somebody goes, "Oh, I feel like I have this huge win because they got it."
Yes. And I still have several aha moments.
We all do. Sometimes I do. It's awesome. All right, so we're going to ask questions one at a time. Why do we ask questions one at a time?
So you get the answers to lead you to the next question.
What about open-ended questions? Kind of the same thing.
Right.
Because questions one at a time so you don't confuse them. And then open-ended so you get more information. And then ask follow-up questions so that you can dig a little deeper. Because coaching is not answering your own questions, and it's not answering for them. You want to ask questions in a way that it connects for them, and you fully understand their problem, and you're fostering self-discovery from them. Sometimes I think my psych degree really helps me with this job, even though I think I might have made a horrible psychologist. But we want to talk less and listen more.
Right.
Listen without opinions. Our stories are not like theirs. Clear your head and focus on the person. Everybody's different. Sometimes even you think you're very similar and have a lot of things in common. Your background is different. The household they grew up in is different. The things they've been exposed to are different from what you've been exposed to. And then reflect to ensure that you're talking less and listening more. You want to focus on them. Seek to understand. Restate keywords if you need to, and make some notes. So is just listening the only thing that you need to do when you're having a conversation with someone? What else do you need to pay attention to? Maybe their body language.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the best way, just how they come across, whether they're really when they say the things that they're saying, is it truly what they mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Now,
guess I could figure out the right words to put it.
if you're talking to me and you're trying to ask me questions and I'm doing this.
That's my pet peeve.
Yeah. Oh no. I know. I literally I was signing up 2 girls once a few years ago, and this is what they were doing as I was explaining to them how to get signed up in the kit. And finally I just stopped talking and I started packing my stuff up and putting it back in my bag.
Right.
And they're like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm done here." I said,
If
"Here's
they
the
can't,
contracts. You can sign them if you want, but I'm finished."
if they can't get done thumbing to pay attention, then they don't need the time.
But what if they're leaning forward and they're like this?
I guess it's still you've got to figure out how to read, whether they're really
Interested.
right,
When
whether
they're
they're
leaning in and listening, they're interested. And
Mhm.
they're giving you feedback.
Hmm.
And that's
I
a
guess
great conversation.
I guess in some ways for me though, sometimes my teenagers would do that as a deterrent to think if I do this, maybe mama shut up. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, if it got them to listen, then okay, and do what you wanted to do. I don't really care. I would just be like, yeah, okay, shut me up. Clean
Oh
that
Lord.
room. Oh,
Sometimes I wish I could get that done.
Mhm.
yeah, you can when you go do it yourself, I think. Every
And
now and then I'll go clean my son's room just to give him a base. Now keep it this way for a while.
I will go in there and clean their room and hide their stuff. And then they'll come, Mom, where'd you move this to? I don't know. I just cleaned it.
I'll put it in the flea market, sell it. All right, so
Yes.
let's meet Jill. Let's talk about a coaching interaction. So Jill is a bronze ambassador. She's very eager to build her Avon business. You've been coaching her for a few months, but she's frustrated because she's not able to recruit new team members as fast as she would like. So you scheduled a call to talk more about it. So looking at the blocks, the investigating why, instilling confidence, expiring actions, what questions might you ask or stories might you share or recommendations you could make to Jill to help her overcome her challenge?
Keep my attention as it is.
You might, as far as not being able, you might ask her where's she been?
Good
Who,
question.
who have you asked? I guess maybe I should look at.
Yeah, who have you asked? Okay.
So,
What about you, Karen? Any ideas what you would say to someone like Jill?
so we having it tonight. So we don't.
You've been too quiet over there.
Are you talking to me?
I am.
Call me in the
Oh.
morning.
Ask questions as to what? What did you say?
Well, Jill's a bronze ambassador. She's eager to build her new business.
Uh-huh.
You've been coaching her for a few months, but she's frustrated because she hasn't been able to recruit new team members as fast as she would like. So what questions or stories could you share or recommendations would you make to help her overcome her challenge?
Wow. Well, I'm just say keep being persistent.
So the other Karen, I think, said keep being persistent.
Yeah, and then you ask her has she asked them what their why is? Has she carried the conversation any further, or has she just stopped?
Yeah.
Has she
Very good.
Has she just stopped at one question, or it could be how she's approaching them?
Yeah. So how she approached and how she's getting their whys.
Like what Cheryl said.
Yeah.
She may just be stopping because she's gotten so many no's. I mean, I've been there.
Yeah.
You get so many no's and you're like, I'm going home. Forget this, let's start another day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then
At least
you
start
have
another
to
day
wake
tomorrow.
up. Yeah, you have a different attitude the next day, and then you don't want to try to don't follow in the same footsteps as what you did the day before. Try a different tactic. Go into it with a different attitude. And like I do, sometimes if I don't know what I'm going to do, I start writing down questions. What can I ask? How am I going to approach this person? What is it that I can do to get a conversation started?
Very good. Okay, does anybody else want to add anything?
Something what Karen talked about, even keeping in keeping with your calendar, that could be in little notes like what Karen said, to put in your calendar to kind of help you each time as you do it, give a refresher course to where you know how to word it, you know how to say it each time.
Mm-hmm.
And you may want to go back to a person that you visited the day before, but give them a couple of days or so, because they may have just said, no, I'm not interested. They may have been having a bad day that day. It may not have been a good day to talk to them, and then just, call in a couple of days and say, hey, Cheryl, this is Karen. I know we talked the other day, and I just wanted to follow up, and I've thought of some other things I wanted to share with you, if it's okay, if you have time. I'm not going to just start sharing it. I want to make sure that it's okay. Like you said, get her okay to start, to finish it,
So what I heard was, the question y'all might ask was, what have you done? What have you done? Are you getting there? Why? Follow up again. But what about stories? What about being relatable?
That would be your reason why. Give them, find out their reason why, and then kind of see, maybe give them your reason as to why you did it.
Yeah, or maybe a time that you got stuck and you were getting frustrated, and how you overcome that challenge might help inspire her to be able to overcome it too.
That's kind of like in the episode where we talked about when we were lost,
Yeah. And then inspiring the action, and then helping her come up with a plan. I heard that, and creating an action plan. So let's go on to our homework. I've already posted this on our Facebook page for my team, and I can pull this up. This is a lot like the coaching plan that we use for you. I have to stop. Yeah, I had to stop sharing there for a minute. I got it. Don't worry. I'm just having to find it. Here it is.
So we can go back to the recording.
Yeah.
After the meeting is over and get it.
Yeah, I will post this and get it to Christy as soon as I can. The recording. I heard y'all talking about it. Let me go back to sharing. Oh man, my screen. Okay, and that's not what I wanted to share. This is the coaching plan. So you pick a representative put the representative's name down. Why did you select this person? Before you began coaching her, did you ask her for permission? Get to know her heart and all the things we just talked about. Find out what she wants, what she doesn't want. Just like everything we've talked about here before. And as you're talking to her, find out what her competencies is. This is a coaching plan, so you can make copies of this and use it for everyone you plan to coach, so that you can see what their competencies are and how you're going to go about helping them. And this is how you're going to build the relationship. And each time you have a different coaching interaction, you can date it, put the topic in that you discussed, what your plan is to make sure you cover everything, how did it go, and what are your next steps. Always important to have a next step. There's 2 pages of that. So
I have a question.
yes.
What are competencies? I mean, it says refer to the glossary.
Remember when we first started and you did the planning? I don't even know how to say it now. Your different competencies. The plan, the manage.
Time management, that one of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just go back to that because that's a good question. You remember one of your very first homework where you had to grade yourself kind of say what you were good at and what you weren't?
Yes, yes.
Were consistent.
That's what that is?
Yeah, those are your
I
competencies.
would have never thought that's what that was. I'm sorry. I don't mean
That's
to be
okay.
dumb,
No, that's
but
okay. You're probably not. Yeah, that's no problem. So yeah, that's what your competencies are because you want to find out what they're good at and what they're not good at so that you can help them.
okay.
Okay. And then we have our homework. So our application guide, I can pull that up too. I'm just struggling with that. Escape. I don't know how to use my computer today. There we go. And this you're going to pick out. Did I do something? No, okay, that was the coaching plan you can use with a person. Your application guide here is, I want you, before you start coaching someone, I want you to pick a person out in your mind that you want to coach. And on this sheet of paper, I want you to write down what you think the answers are going to be.
Okay.
So if you have someone in mind, answer these questions yourself based on what you think her answers will be. And then when you go to this person and you're talking to them, see if your answers and their answers match. And it could be an eye-opener. And it could be maybe you knew everything you needed to know. But maybe you're going to learn something you didn't know.
Right.
Okay. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think of some questions. Come up with 3 open-ended questions that you're going to ask to get to know her heart and her belief. And as you prepare for the coaching interaction, there's a scenario that you can go over. It gives you Mandy. She's a representative in your downline who really wants to become a leader. She's given you permission to coach her, and you've spent time getting to know her heart and belief. But Mandy's been trying to find people to add to her team without success. And you have a call tomorrow. So write down what you're going to say to ask and identify and clarify her need. Then come up with 2 open-ended questions to investigate why she's struggling. Come up with 2 answers to how you're going to instill confidence in her. How you're going to inspire action. And then what will be, and then your call to action is who will you be prepared to coach?
And we turn all of that in to you?
Yes. You know, before our one-on-one next week.
Okay.
What do you,
I'll be gone next week. Remember, I'm going deer hunting.
Oh, you got to turn this all into me Friday.
Friday. That's why I laughed.
Oh, yeah, that's why you laughed. I get it now. Okay.
Right?
Text me or call me if y'all need any assistance with your homework.
Okay. I'm just going to do that right
If
now.
we need to, we'll work on it some more on our one-on-one calls, but do the best you can, okay? All right, let me close that and get back to my PowerPoint. Because you know I have our hot topic question. Our collaboration call will be 1 week from tonight, unless it's Thanksgiving. It's not. I'm so off track. All right, the 15th, 8 o'clock is our collaboration call. And our hot topic question is, who has been the most influential, wait a minute, who has influenced your success with your Avon business and why? Pick someone who has mentored you and has influenced your success. And then,
Oh, we don't have it this Thursday because
no, next Thursday. Next Thursday, the 15th. All right. Any other
And I have
questions?
my call in the morning, right?
Do they have a call in the morning, Christy?
No, your one-on-one will be back on schedule with me next week. So ours, Karen, will be next Wednesday morning, and then our collaboration's next Thursday. So this week
Okay.
after tonight, you'll just work on your homework.
Okay.
and get that completed for our one-on-one next week.
Okay. And I'm
Okay.
gonna go back in and try to see if I can pick it up on the recording because I don't know if it's because the train is on the track, but the wheel keeps turning around and around.
Mhm.
Okay,
We can't. We
that's
see
fine.
us,
We
but
can. Stephanie recorded it, so as soon as she gets me the link, I can send it to you guys to watch whatever pieces you've missed out on. Okay.
It takes a
I'll
little
just
bit.
watch the whole thing. Yeah.
It's not instant, so it takes
Yeah.
a little while. Okay, any other questions tonight?
I think that's good.
All right, I'm getting us out of here at 9:02.
You did pretty good.
I hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you for being here again, and I will see you a week from Thursday.
Y'all have a great week.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Drink after this. What you say? Drink after that. I know, trying to